What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Matt Samolsky here. I'm here at Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County in Punta Gorda, Florida with this 2022 Toyota Prius. Now this is the XLE Night Shade edition, and while the Prius remain unchanged for 2022, this is a new trim level. So today I'm going to take you on a tour of it. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, jump inside of it, play with some cool and interesting features, and as always at the end of this video I'm going to take you for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. Well, it's very hard to believe that the Prius has been in production for 25 years. First introduced in 1997 in Japan, 1999 in the United States. It has been the top-selling hybrid vehicle in the world. And if you ask anybody about the hybrid, everybody's gonna go like, well, Toyota Prius, of course. Well, but that wasn't the first hybrid that was ever invented. As a matter of fact, in 1900 or early 1900s, Ferdinand Porsche introduced a vehicle that was powered up by 4 electric motors, one by each wheel, and they were powered up by the fuel run generator. So technically that was the first hybrid idea, long before any Honda Insights, Toyota Priuses, Honda Ioniqs, or any other vehicles were introduced. So today we'll take a look at this particular one. As you can see, the shape of it, even though it has been modernized over the years, it still has the same characteristics of the original Prius. It does have this teardrop shape, which helps you with a better drag coefficient, with a better aerodynamics, and in turn it turns into a better gas mileage, which we're going to talk in just a little bit. I'll give you a close-up of this hood because that's very interesting. It's flat on top, kind of slopes down in the middle right here. It does have 2 distinct body lines on the sides, and those kind of come together in this big Toyota logo right here. Now, as any of the Toyota electrified vehicle, it does have these blue inlays around the Toyota sign, the Toyota logo in here, and that's the center of this grille. Now, a small portion of the grille right here, a little bit bigger at the bottom. Now, that vehicle is obviously the silver metallic, and this is a nightshade trim, which is only available in 3 colors. So that's a white one, silver one, and a black one. So if you like the nightshade edition, there's only 3 colors that you can choose from. So let's take a look at the lights. It does have the fully LED lights. The turn signals are built into this headlight unit right here, and then it does have the daytime running lights right on the side here, part of this nightshade package. Of course, this shiny black trim around them, and this vehicle is also equipped with the fog lights right here. But what makes a hybrid different than any other vehicles obviously is its power plant. So let's pop the hood open and let's see what powers up this thing. And I gotta tell you, on paper, quite unimpressive as far as the engine power plant of this vehicle right here. 1.8 liter engine combined with the electric motor assist. Total output of horsepower 121 horsepower. Made it to a CVT transmission, and unfortunately performance of it's also quite unimpressive. 10.8 seconds 0 to 60. So does it have the best in class fuel mileage? Well, keep on watching to find out. What else is here? What's interesting about this, Toyota actually puts this blue inlays on all of their electrified vehicles. So that's what it says, hey, this is a hybrid or electric vehicle. However, what they don't do for some reason is they don't put any of this orange wiring, which most of the other manufacturers do, kind of to notify the first responders. That's first warning sign, hey, this is a hybrid, don't touch it, high voltage. But they do put the high voltage warning inside on this little label right here. So what else in the hood? Okay, you have this sound insulation prop stick, but most of the vehicle in its class is going to have the prop stick. I wish most of the manufacturer actually switched to the hydraulic struts on that. I'm curious how it drives. On paper, it doesn't look very impressive, but we'll see in real life. Well guys, check out the shape of this vehicle. When I was telling you that this does have this teardrop shape or a wedge shape, as some people call it, you can definitely see it in here for yourself. Now let's take a look at the wheels. Now this is a Night Shade package, so it does have the upgraded 17-inch wheels. Now these are all blacked out, 215 by 45 on the tires. That's the size of it. It also has the black hybrid badge, black mirror caps, black shark fin antenna, black door handles. So these are all parts of this Night Shade package. Everything else is basically just a regular XLE trim. What's interesting about it, I was thinking that it does have the smart entry system, but it doesn't. I do have the key on me, and you know, in order to lock it or unlock it, I have to actually press the button, which is kind of disappointing at this time. Most of the manufacturers are going with the standard one. What I do like about it is how big the windows are here. And you can see this is kind of a hatchback or sportback design. I might have a little bit of trouble getting in here. I'm gonna try to get inside of here because this is kind of sloped down, but I like how they put all those little windows all around, including in the back, to make sure that you can see from the inside of this vehicle. So let's check out the roominess and let's see if I can fit in. So let me see if I can fit in this vehicle, and duck, 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 go. So there you go. You actually have to duck quite a bit to get underneath this portion right here. Once you get inside though, I gotta tell you, it is a compact vehicle, but it does have quite a bit of room. Now my knees are touching the front seat. I'm 6 feet tall. I like to drive comfortably, so I adjusted this seat to my regular driving position. But I do have plenty of headroom and quite a bit of shoulder room. And let me show you the rest of this interior. Okay, let's check out the door. First of all, okay, a lot of hard plastic materials. The only padded portion right here is this armrest, and you know, do have the window controls and the locks, of course. You have a little bit of a storage right underneath here, and that's where your speaker is. So moving on to the interior of this vehicle, the Toyota called this material Softex material, kind of leather looking one, but it is man-made, so no cows were killed in making of this vehicle. Now you have the armrest that opens up, contains 2 cup holders right here. As far as the seats, they're fairly comfortable. They're nicely profiled. Like I said, plenty of headroom. They also do have a 60-40 split, so if you need more room, you can fold them down. Seat back pockets, 2 USB ports right in the middle console. I'd like to see some vents for the back. Maybe they're underneath the seats. Another seat back pocket, and there's a zipper right here. And there is another secret seat back pocket, so you can actually put something in here. As far as the floor on here, it does have a little hump in the middle. Nothing too crazy. Third person can fit in here as well. Well guys, I have to admit that from the back it looks very modern. It looks very futuristic. Look at this glass right here. That's almost straight. That almost doesn't slope down very much. Now it goes down right here, and just like the old Toyota Priuses, it does have this piece of glass for the maximum outward viewing, so you can see what's going on behind this vehicle from right here. What's interesting too, that it also has the rear window defroster on this portion of the glass as well as on the top of here. You do have a shark fin antenna, black in color for the Night Shade package. You do have the sprayer for the rear window and the windshield window wiper. Now LED taillight. These are incandescent reverse and turn signals. Toyota does it on many of their vehicles, kind of a combination of it. Blacked out Prius badge, blacked out hybrid XLE, and then blacked out Toyota logo with this blue inlays signifies that it is a hybrid vehicle. No visible exhaust on here, and these are just the reflector lights. Let me pop this open and let's see how much room we have in the back. Because looking in the back here, you do have quite a bit of room with the seats folded up. We're going to check it out with the seats folded down as well. But before we do that, let's move this nice and plush floor mat and see if we have a spare tire. And we don't. You do, however, have tools to remove it. You have the tire puncture repair kit right here and a little compressor. So that's what you get. Now, you probably could buy a spare tire. Now, where are you going to put it? It's probably right here. taking up the entire space. Well, you know, what else do we have here? Now, if you're unloading groceries at night, there's a little light that you can turn on. There's also like grocery hooks, maximum 4 kilos that you can put on those. Cargo cover, this is nice. Keep nosy people from peeking in. The inside of what you have in the trunk, that's removable, so you can take that out. And you can also fold down the seats. These are 60-40 split, and the way you do it, simple, easy peasy, right here. And this is how much room you have with the seats folded down. Okay, so let's check out, as always, the sound of the closing door. It's a measure of quality, and the quality is there, definitely. Toyota doesn't disappoint with this. Front door, just like the back door, lots of black trim, but that's the interior color of this vehicle. It does have the mirror window controls. It does have a little bit of storage underneath here. And let's get to the interior of it. You do have a power seat on the driver's side, and again, that same material is in the back seat, and it's nice, comfortable, it's smooth. Well, let's jump inside of it and let's see what features we have here. Well, let's check out the interior of this 2022 Prius XLE Night Shade Edition. So we're going to start with steering wheel right here, a bunch of buttons on the left hand side. You can see what controls basically the radios, different modes for the media, trip. Then you have the phone controls and the voice controls, Toyota logo. And then on this side you have what's going on in the instrument cluster, your back button, your heated steering wheel, which is part of this XLE trim, and then you have the lane keep assist and the cruise control. So you have the main cruise control stock right underneath here, you can see that. The steering wheel itself, it's nice, leather wrapped, it's actually nice to the touch, and it feels pretty good. Now, if you've ever been in any of the Priuses, you notice that the dashboard, the actual instrument cluster, it's right in the middle. And I was wondering why that is, and I read somewhere that it's because all of the Priuses are actually made in Japan. And, you know, some of the countries have the steering wheel on the right-hand side, or as we would like to call it, on the wrong side of the vehicle. But it is just as easy for these people to see what's going on in the screen as if it was on the correct side of the vehicle. So let's check out, let's turn it on. There's a power button right here to turn this vehicle on. It's not start stop, it's power. Okay, and then you have this little Prius going through this tiny little screen. It does have 2 screens in there, and then a few warning lights. So let's see what we can customize it. Let's see, set calendar. No, we're not going to set calendar, but we're going to go through some of the features that are going on in here. So let's see, what do we have? This is your hybrid system. This is your clock settings, your climate control settings. Then you have the lane keep assist. Messages, the messages would be like, hey, your oil changes due, or there's a warning message. These are basically your safety options. As you can see, as your parking sensors, okay, on and off, PKSB on and off, turns blind spot monitor on and off. We're going to turn that on. Lane sway warning status, sway warning sensitivity. Oh, you can actually make it more or less sensitive, the sprinkle. And you can change the kilometers, miles per hour, meter, customize vehicle settings, maintenance system, RSA, rear seat reminder. By the way, you can see that there's a seat belts that are unbuckled right here in the front. It detects the occupant, and I don't wear my seat belts currently. I will when I start driving. Okay, the vehicle is ready to drive. There's an indicator of where the gears are currently, and on in the screen to the left you can see your speedometer, your gas gauge. The vehicle's got 5 miles on it and average 13.1 miles per gallon, so it's basically idling probably for the most time. Now, 2 different screens that are available with this Prius right here. Before we get to the screen, I want to point something out to you, because this is actually pretty interesting. See this little vans right here? They have Prius actually right inside, written right inside of here. All 4 of them in the front have it. So that's an interesting touch on the Prius side. Now, as far as the screen, 7-inch touchscreen, does have a 6-speaker audio. There's also another touchscreen available that's the bigger touchscreen. What's interesting, what I read, that the big touchscreen does not include Android Auto. On this one, you do have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. However, these are wired, not wireless. Now, I keep on saying that about all of the Toyotas. I mean, there could be so much more screen available, even if they use the same cutout, but it basically made the screen the entire thing. And if they want the buttons, the hard buttons, they can leave them on. It just seems like the screen is very small. That 7-inch screen, I think it maybe like it's got like 5 inches inside of it. Anyways, so this is your main home button right here. I have my phone connected for the calls and the audio, so it says select and hold to add the contact. We're not going to do that, but as a default, it tells you of where the power is coming from. So battery, engine to the wheels. It kind of gives you that little flow in here. Menu. Okay, pretty simple. Audio, phone, apps, projection, setup. Okay, let's see what apps we can get. To download Toyota apps, you will need a compatible mobile device. We're not going to do that right now, but you know, it says a map right here, and then navigation app is not installed. So that's one of those vehicles that have a subscription-based apps. If you'd like to, you can download it, or you can just connect to your phone with the approved USB wire and have the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on it. Let's go back to audio. Like I said, 6-speaker stereo. I mean, it sounds decent. I'm not a big audiophile, so I don't tell the difference. And it does have AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, and the Bluetooth connectivity. You can also play from your USB drive as well. Power, and then the tune buttons are right here. On the other side, you can see there's a seek, track, phone, and apps button. And then underneath here, we have the electronic climate control. Okay, let's turn it down a little bit. Like I said, the temperature went up quite a bit since the morning. It still shows 55 though, but with the sun, it definitely feels warmer. Okay, and that's another thing that's very unique to the Prius. I mean, they've had this, essentially, this type of drive shifter since the beginning of it. And you can see that's a little bit different drive to shift it. You move it to the left and up to put it in reverse, which in turn turns on the rear view camera. So let's take a look at this. Decent quality rear view camera, nothing too crazy. Matter of fact, I'm surprised that the trajectory lines don't move when you move the steering wheel. I think that should definitely be added. That's definitely helpful to see where your vehicle is going to go. Do we have any other settings for here? I don't see the camera settings. Well, that's okay. That's still decent. Let's move it to the drive. That's basically, so you have to get it out of the reverse and move it to drive, and then the vehicle is ready to drive. Now, if you're not sure of where you're at as far as the gears, of course, you have the indicator right here. Now in drive, okay, and then I push the park button, which is right here, and that puts the vehicle in park. So we do have 3 driving modes: normal, eco, and power mode. And these are controlled through here. You also have a EV mode, so I can put it in the EV mode, and it's going to be fully electric mode right here. Now you do have a wireless charger right here, the Qi charger. Then you have the heated seats and cup holders. Lots of shiny black all around. All the trim is shiny black, which a lot of people like. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I guess it will do. And then if you look at the side of here, this is an interesting. I like how they did it to make it less boring. Okay, they broke down this dashboard. Okay, not bad. Decent sized glove box. Take a quick look at the sticker right here. It is a 2022 model year. And you know, as far as the price, okay, we're going to go through some different trim levels, but the manufacturer suggested retail price, when it tells you it starts from $29,545, you have to include the destination charge, and then you have to include all the options that are factory equipped, and then maybe other options that the dealers might have added on it. So this vehicle is just over $32,000. I'm going to post in the description all of the features that are on this vehicle. And before we take it for a spin, I want to take a quick look at the key right here. Now this is the back side of this key. You can see it's got the blue Toyota logo, it's got the Prius written on it, and then on this side it only has lock on lock and a panic feature right on here. It is the same key that Toyota's been using for a while. It actually works pretty well and it looks good, so I'm sure that's why they keep it. Let's move on to the mirror right here. So you do have a home link button, so you can program 3 different garage doors or gates or whatever using that frequency on here. And then of course your vehicle data transmission warning, like we've seen on all the Toyotas. And then you have your SOS button, kind of looks like this jet fighter fire button right here, so you don't accidentally press it. You have the lid on it, if you will. And then you have the regular lights on both sides. This is it. Do you have a, yeah, there you go, you have a little light for if you put your makeup on. Ladies or gentlemen, I'm not sure what you do, but it is on both sides right here. And without further ado, let's take this for a spin. Okay, so we're ready to take this for a spin. Before we take this for a spin, let's talk a little bit about different trim levels and what's available for Toyota this year. So they actually have 8 different trim levels, and that starts with the L Eco, which is the cheapest one, also the most gas efficient one, kind of like Ionic Blue. That's the most efficient one, that's the cheapest. I guess it's because it doesn't have all the fancy schmancy electronics and all that stuff. And that one actually, as far as the gas mileage, delivers up to 58 miles per gallon in the city and 53 on the highway. Pretty much all of the other front-wheel drive model have the 54 and 50 on the highway. All-wheel drive 52 and 48 on the highway, 52 in the city and 48 on the highway. So let's talk about different trim levels. It actually starts, like I said, L Eco starts at about 25,650, LE 26,860. Then there's an LE all-wheel drive E 28,130, Night Shade, which is this one, 29,545, XLE 29,870, XLE all-wheel drive 30,570, Night Shade all-wheel drive 31,500, and then limited 33,945. So they're ranging basically from 26,000 to about $34,000, give or take a few dollars here and there. Now, the Ionic Hybrid, which I tested not too long ago, actually has a better gas economy. If you want to look at that video, and link that somewhere in the this video right here. So take a look at this, and let's see about the performance of it, because that's what's on paper is not the greatest. But Toyota surprised me so many times with underrating their power, and actually the performance felt better on the road than it actually was on paper. So hopefully that's the case with this. Well, let's put it in reverse, and we already checked out the rear view camera, but what I want to check out as well is the turning radius on this vehicle. So I'm going to turn this wheel all the way to the left, and I'm going to see, oh wow, this vehicle actually feels like it's got those wheels right underneath it. It turns on the dime. I don't have my regular parking spots, but actually I would be surprised if it's more than like 3.5 parking spots. Now I am in the EV mode, so I'm in the fully electric mode. I'm actually going to turn that off and go in the hybrid mode, so it's probably going to be a little bit better performance of it. But overall, so far, first impression, it feels actually pretty good. It feels very light as far as the weight and the way that this vehicle drives. Feels very light, not too bad. I do have a nice visibility. It'll take a little bit to get used to this glass in the back. Now, if you did have a third passenger sitting in there, you probably wouldn't see too well out of the back, but and that's probably where this mirror would come in handy if it was available, that rear view mirror monitor. But nevertheless, not too bad. So what is Toyota aiming for? Obviously for people that are conscious about the environment, although that could be very much debatable for the impact of the recycling the batteries, producing the batteries and all that stuff, versus, you know, reducing the emissions. So there's pros and cons on each side. If you guys have an opinion of it, put it in the comment section below. I'm gonna hold my comments on that one because, you know, I have my own. Anyways, so let's keep on driving this. I'm going to turn the EV mode. I turn the EV mode off, so we're in the fully hybrid vehicle. There's also a Toyota hybrid, Corolla hybrid, which actually is powered by the same power plant, and it is less expensive than this Prius. So for those of you that like the familiar look of the Corolla, that might be the option to go with. Now, there's some hardcore fans of the Priuses. I know there's people who love them, there's people that hate them, and there's a very few people that kind of like me are in between. It is a tool definitely for people who are commuting. It's going to take you from point A to point B without breaking the bank, and if that's your goal, then go for it. And see, I'm going to check out that pickup, because as much as I don't really care about breaking any records for acceleration, it is important that you're able to merge in traffic without being rear-ended. And I think I can safely say that it does the adequate power to do just that, and it feels pretty effortless in getting there too. Now, you know, I'm about 45 miles per hour right now, so nothing too crazy, but it's got a decent pickup and go, so I'm not gonna really ding it for it. Is it an exciting drive? No. There's no question about it, but it is fuel efficient, definitely. You know, I'm not sure if the hybrids actually qualify for any type of government tax credits. I think it's only EVs and plug-in hybrids, so you might be out of luck, or it might give you a little bit of the tax credit. If you know what it is, put it in the comment section below. I'd like to find out as well. Now guys, you gotta understand that I check these cars out. I get them from the dealerships, and I do research before I actually get to the dealership, but this is really my first impressions. This is what my first look at this hybrid is right now. I only have a limited time with it, so I do the best I can. But if you know something that I didn't mention, or I don't know, or maybe I said wrong, put it in the comment section below in a nice way, and I'm learning with you too. Well guys, I hope you learned something with this video. I hope I brought a little bit of value into your life. If you like watching videos like this, consider checking out the rest of my channel. Hit that little subscribe button, that bell notification one, so you don't miss any of the videos that I have coming up. Give me a like, keep me pumped up, and until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers. And we got 55. I'll see you guys.